Hello, everyone. I'm Dana, leading the accelerator program in Mindset and the deal flow at Mindset Capital. After listening to the perspective of the investors in view of the latest changes, significant changes in the markets, and as well as the opportunities that creates them, that is created by them, we want to see how it is experienced by the edtech founders, the doers, the people that experience firsthand the response of customers and investors to the situation and manage to navigate these rough waters. So I'll join you.
Hey, we're good.
So I'll introduce all of you. First, Tomer Himes, Strategic Business Development Manager at next October, to present the organization's amazing work supporting Israeli startups' growth since during the war. And Dr. Yair Shapira, CEO, founder of Novodia, Ron Kirschenbaum, managing partner at Read Theory, and David Bleicher, founder and CEO of Jotit. Hello. I'm going to start with you, Tomer. Maybe you can tell us more about your mission, the organization's mission, and what you hope to achieve.
So basically, thank you so much for having us. I think this is an amazing opportunity to tell everybody, and I was so excited to see Yair and another company that is a part of next October. So basically, next October is a way for us to turn grief into hope. This is a way for us to respond in commemorating those that we lost and the fallen ones with innovation. And this is a way for us to basically have an opportunity to remember over 1,750 people in a very unique way. Each startup that is a part of Next October basically gets a match with a person that they can commemorate. And I think that creates a very unique way, because in any opportunity that I had to learn about how the commemoration is going, it creates a way that this initiative basically creates, it moves in a very unique, special way. So it helps us give them a place, because every startup that is commemorating is, I'm so sorry. This number really affects me. Every time that I say 1,750 people, it basically gives me a shocking wave of how many people we need to remember. And each startup that takes on himself the mission to remember them basically have the way of building a better future, a better next October, by remembering them. Alongside his success, they still remember those people. And in next October, we have the privilege to help them gain their goals, by basically having them connected with VCs and mentors, and helping them, along the way to keep on doing that amazing job.
Anything like to have a glass of water?
Okay. Thank you. And with the perspective of the founders, all startups in the community of Mindset here, maybe you can briefly introduce the company, and then I have some couple of questions for you. So, yeah, please start.
Thank you. So I'm Yair. I founded Novodia with Tomer, my co-founder here. It's my second at the company after I exited Amplio, my previous company. Novodia is a new generation of publishers that creates a full curricula using AI, selling it to school districts and state agencies. We take part also in next October commemorating Amichai Weizen, who was an educator and the father of 5, and fell on October 7th, protecting his family and community.
My name is Ron Kirschenbaum. I'm one of the managing partners at Read Theory, and we create adaptive, effective learning resources to help students of all ages, but mostly K-12, to improve their reading skills. Throughout the years, we've had more than 20 million students sign up to our platform, and we're still at it. We're trying to reach more and more students.
Hey, I'm David Bleicher, founder of a company called Jotted, or Jotted Education, and we basically deal with the other 80 or 85% of education. So everyone talks about technology a lot here, a lot of technologists here and enthusiasts, and yet I've heard in other talks here that schools are in many ways behind. Many of them are leaning towards handwriting, paper, books, etc. Again, having more than 20 years in building product, I know that the customer is always right. So there is a good reason why the teachers are leaning towards this direction. And yet I've seen in my own hat of a father how much damage this creates to kids who have problems in organizations and others. What we built is a unified learning space that connects the handwriting into the digital platform, basically organizes everything for every student in the world. And again, you can experience it, if you haven't yet, go visit the booth there, experience it, and you'll understand why we believe this is how every student will be learning very soon.
Thank you. And maybe, David, you can continue by sharing one example. I'm sure all of you have many. About how the uncertainty of the market, the surprising adoption of Gen AI, the war, COVID, how is it economic and political global events and crisis, how it has been impacting your business?
Okay, there's many ways to answer this question because there's many questions inside this question, and I'll skip the war for a second because let's talk about Gen AI, or the elephant in the room that everyone's talking about. Whenever I see opportunities to talk to the educators, to the people who are on the ground, they'll say, please present anything but generative AI to me. Okay, so I will say that there's a little bit of an overwhelm that this has created. Everyone understands that this is something important that is changing the world, yet no one really understands exactly which aspect they want to take. And I think we just, as a group and as people who are presenting and want to improve education, first and foremost, and the technology comes second, we have to be very much aware. So where actually it serves us as we are trying to retain ourselves very grounded, kind of solving real problems and, trying to stay away a little bit of the hype.
And Juan?
Again, I won't get into the war, even though I was also drafted into active duty, but which was a challenge, obviously, for our company. But I think the thing that is most on our minds today is the ESSER cliff. So K-12, if you're familiar with the K-12 market and ESSER funding, or the funding stimulus that the U.S. government has offered is sort of tapped out, and now companies are trying to find their place within the new funding environment. For us, we feel that as a smaller company, it's going to be less of a problem, but larger companies that maybe have a lot on their P&L are going to have some trouble with adapting to the new funding environment.
Thank you. Yair?
We love uncertainty. I think it's a bread and butter for startups. These are the opportunities for us to bypass the giants, the dinosaurs. I'll give you an example or a few examples. So you spoke about proliferation of Gen AI with teachers. Teachers are now creating almost all the content in the classroom using Gen AI. This is a huge risk and a terrifying factor for school districts. They are losing grounds. They don't know how to deal with it. And what's better for us as a publisher that uses AI, but to tell districts the only way to fight AI in the hands of teachers is to have a tamed version of AI in the hands of districts. You were speaking about ESSER funding. The ESSER was a $20 billion funding for COVID that is drying out on June 30th, 2025. The districts are used to buying content using ESSER funding. But if they cannot buy this content, where will they get the content? Guess where? Maybe at Novodia, which uses AI, and then it's cheaper, it's faster. We just had elections in the US yesterday, a new administration. They are going to flush all the standards in the US. Not because they're Republicans, because anyway, this is the trend. Even if Kamala had been winning, it would have been exactly the same. which means that all the curriculum that are out there in the US, or a lot of the curriculum out there in the US, may not be aligned to existing standards. And guess who can align very quickly? All these are opportunities for us.
Definitely.
We love uncertainty.
And so all of you mentioned funding, revenues, talking a little bit about that. What change do you see, if any, in the approach of investors and investors' expectations from your companies, financial projections, growth plans, in view of all these trends?
So I'm old school, and I think that business is business. You're right, sometimes in the market, entrepreneurs and even investors forget this, and you have to remind them what good business looks like. And I'm not telling you anything new. Good business is invoicing, right? Preferably big invoices, preferably repeating invoices, preferably long-term deals. That's what we're expected to deliver, and that's what we will.
Thank you. One?
I think we're less positioned to answer the question just because we're a bootstrap company, but anecdotally, I would say that, stepping back a bit, that these last 2-3 months, we've seen a surge of inbound interest that we've never seen since 2021. So it feels like something's happening.
Okay. David?
Nothing new. I would say, investors prefer to have great companies that sell well and have amazing founders and believe in the big market. Everyone said that in the investor funnel before. Again, I think the opportunity in EdTech is huge. A lot of the world's money is in education. And so it's just, there hasn't been an unlock here. Everyone sees the opportunity. Everyone understands that there's a big market there. And yet, again, it has a bad reputation. And so Hila mentioned that people are hiding the fact that they're EdTech. I think this is changing. We're very proudly, selecting the EdTech lever and are big believers in the fact that this is growing from year to year. And we need a few success stories to make this huge in the ecosystem.
Definitely. So hopefully some success stories are, coming out of this stage. And regarding the elephant in the room that you mentioned, the generative AI, I'm curious to know about a specific feature or something in your product that was enabled by the development of Gen AI, which was most in demand by your customers.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
Going back and forth, no problem. So I will say that even though I talked bad things about AI, we do use generative AI, and you cannot create a startup without using it, whether in your development teams and whether it's in your product itself. What we have, we integrate the generative AI into the handwriting, which is a core component of Jotted. So instead of starting to open a program and going and finding, some information, you can highlight a math problem inside your notebook, and you will get a hint for the solution, or it's going to spell check and grammar check, talking about Grammarly, etc., on your notebook. So we are integrating, we're not inventing generative AI, but we are integrating in a very seamless and elegant way into our product.
I think for us, we're a bit more apprehensive in our approach. We have a product or a feature that allows teachers to create their own content based on their interests, but we don't allow them. We never baked it into our product, so it's still external for us right now, just because we don't feel like it's on par with our content pieces, and maybe Yair obviously is a better position to talk about that.
So far, you have 20 million students, right? So, yeah. So my thesis is that education is a content business, and generative AI is a content solution, which means that the business needs to change. And I think that the main premise of publishers, the main reason that everything is so slow, so expensive, so one size fits all, not used in the classroom, is because they think and they say that creating content is difficult. What if it had been different? What if creating content is not that difficult? Then you can actually address every topic. You can address every student. You can provide different version. You can move fast. Content can be flexible, can fit different standards and so on. And that's what Novodia is doing. In the heart of what we do is AI behind the scenes.
Thank you. So to summarize, Tomer, and maybe you can start with answering that question. What does Next October plans to achieve for 2025, and what will be your main goal?
So basically, our main goal will be reaching now 1,750 startups. And the reason that it really hit me, because last time I spoke over a stage, I used to say over 1,500. So basically, it really hit me now, and I can ask you to join us in order to fill that gap, which is really rising very high. And you are the persons that we can't wait to join us in this important mission, and that will be our goal in 2025.
Thank you. So I want to thank all of you for joining the panel. Thank you. And I wish you and all Israeli entrepreneurs that resilience will be just a valuable asset and not a necessary trait in the future. So thank you.